recording. If not, we're going to have fun anyway, Jacob. Jacob, coming into tonight's game, power rankings going to come into play. Are the Trojans still at number 5 at the moment?
At the moment, me and Mike and TJ discussed this. At the moment, we are still sitting at number 5. But Mike actually ran down some scenarios. He said basically sitting at number 9 right now, I believe, is Baconton, and they are the only team that's out of the top 8 that has a chance of winning their region. So if they do so, that'll bump them up in there. So it'll dock us at least just one spot if it's just them that gets in there. So that'll put us at 6th or 7th, and that'll still have us putting at that'll still have us at a first round bye. So we're actually sitting pretty good right now.
Fantastic. So if we're in the top 8, we're okay to start with. Now,
yes,
region clinching scenarios, as I understand it, is that Charlton, who's first place right now, pretty well controls their own destiny. Is that right?
Yes, pretty much.
And if Charlton wins out, then they're in as region champ. But if Charlton loses and Irwin wins out, am I correct on that? I believe Irwin goes ahead and becomes a region champ, if I'm not mistaken.
I do believe so. I think you are right.
So what we're looking at is, again, a game that for the Trojans, it's not going to matter as far as standings in the region so much as it is power rankings. And obviously, nothing against Echols, good ball club, but they have not had a real successful season by wins and losses record. So this should be one that maybe the Trojans should hopefully have a little success at.
Oh, yes, and Mike actually made a good point about saying that Echols coming in here having nothing to lose. And I told him around this time of the year when it gets close to playoffs that Echols is a team, like I just said, having nothing to lose. They play the role of spoiler, trying to get people out of their dreams of playoffs right now. And I told him those are the most dangerous types of teams around this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. About a week or so ago when we played Atkinson, boy, we had a struggle for a while.
We did.
And so you have to watch out.
The second baseman, number 1, Harrison Woods.
Harrison Woods going to be the first batter for the Trojans here in the first inning. And again, Harrison is one of those many seniors that again, we're going to be doing a little tribute to the seniors on this broadcast, or after the broadcast rather. We're going to put a little something together for them. Had a few technical difficulties. It's been a rough afternoon. We weren't able to get the actual program recorded today, but those things are going to happen as we're practicing, because our preseason's going to be over pretty soon for Deep Productions. We're going into the real thing in about 2 weeks.
And Mr. D, whenever we go between innings again, Mike did send in some scenarios about which team would win Region 2A, and I'll go over that between innings.
Oh, man, fantastic. Harrison Wood up there behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on base. If you're just joining us, it's early. Trojans no score with Echols. We held them down in the first inning. Ryan Dobson's pitching for the Trojans, I believe, today. Held them down real good in that first inning. Wide pitch by the Echols pitcher. That ball is chopped at the plate, and
we called foul.
Foul ball on that. So still going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a lot of seniors on this team there, Jacob, that, we're going to miss next year. But the way Coach Mercer's got this team going, even though we'll miss them, I know he has people coming up from the middle school and the lower grades, the 9th, 10th grade, that are probably going to step into some big shoes next year.
Oh, without a doubt. I think we have a total of 5 seniors. So, yes, we are losing some big-time position players here. But, of course, that middle school team, like Mike and I discussed here in softball season one time, we covered it, the feeder program.
Absolutely.
They're just shooting up talent.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, again, we may be having a little trouble with the camera angle. We had to go to a new spot today. Sun's on us a little bit, so give us about an hour or so, and we'll hopefully have some good one. But you can enjoy this wonderful audio by the golden voices of Jacob and Tim. Harrison hanging in there, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. First inning, 1, no score. Wind in the pitch. Ball is bounced up there. Makes it a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jacob, really impressed by the crowd tonight, large number of them, and right before the ball game, being able to see some of the ones that were going on here. A lot of the seniors were out here tonight.
Oh, yes, without a doubt, Mr. D. I am very impressed with the crowd here, of course. I mean, if there was one game this year that we need to have a big crowd, it's this senior night game.
And we just had a little visit from Coach Burleson's wife and daughter, just came through. Kind of reminds me, man, football season will be coming up before you know it.
Yeah.
Got a runner on first. Harrison Wood just walked. He's on first base. And Cameo Blankenship is the batter, but nobody out. runner on first. John is the cameraman under some very adverse conditions, doing a fantastic job, as I can tell. John, thank you for the good work. Throw back over to first base. Sitting to my right, technical crew. She said she's not going to talk a lot, so I guess she's doing all the paperwork for me. It's Patty D. Appreciate her and all that she's going to be doing as we do some captions and some work here tonight. Try to keep everybody up to date on the scores and the innings. Looks like a ball low.
Hey, Mr. D, we got just a little bit of a tidbit of some information. When a certain batter in our lineup comes up, I have a good stat that'll really impress you.
Is it one of our home run hitters?
Yes, it is.
I've got a net that I'm going to try to catch that ball because it'd be a long foul. We're on the right-hand side of the foul pole, but still.
Oh, yeah.
Runner's headed to second to throw down.
He's in there.
You know, Harrison showed a little bit of speed. We're very proud of the sponsors, and again, between innings, Jacob will go through those that are sponsoring us here tonight. Appreciate Miss Patty for reminding me about these good sponsors that have already joined on with Deep Productions, and hopefully get a few more as we start some sales next week. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, just dial 229-315-2569. Ask for Tim. He's the one with all the hair. And he'll be more than happy to talk to you about sales, and we'll be coming by to see a lot of our local businesses. Ball in there. 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner on second for the Trojans, trying to threaten early. Echols is in the green jerseys, green hats, white pants. Trojans in traditional Trojan Colombian blue. Like a good pitch in there, full count, Jacob. This pitcher on the first 2 batters has run the count full.
Yeah, he has. I mean, and you got to give props to Cameo up there. He's battling up there.
Fouled out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jacob, again, I know you were a senior last year. You know, for those seniors that kind of walked through today, what kind of goes through their mind, I wonder? Is there, could be, their last regular season game here at Trojan Field.
Flashbacks, to really sum it up into one word. They're basically, their whole high school career really is running through their head. They're really thinking all the way back to freshman years, like, man, time has really flown, and it's actually hard for me to believe that it's senior night during baseball season already, because I can remember being out here last year watching my fellow classmates walk through.
And of course, you walked through on football season, I believe, too, didn't you?
I did.
Because you were, I think we figured you probably announced over 100 games in your career. And so, again, just a tremendous accomplishment. And again, pitch in there for a strike. Who's the batter up there, Jacob?
That would be number 6, Ian Blankenship.
Ian up that way. He has some power. Always capable of taking it deep. Runners on first and second. Nobody out for the Trojans. Line and pitch. Again, called the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Guys, I bet this microphone doesn't have to be that sensitive. I could hear the umpire all the way out here. And the left field in the foul area. Stretching the pitch. Foul off by Ian. One thing looking at this ball club here, Jacob, I think if we had to sum up the season, the one word is consistency. They have really, especially after the first couple of weeks,
They actually gave up 8 runs and sadly lost that game to Dodge.
And Dodge, I think, probably had a little revenge on their mind too.
They did.
And like we say, hey, we'll split with Dodge anytime.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, and the pitch. Ball inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Especially whenever you look at a team like Dodge, I mean, it's really an accomplishment because of how much talent they have in the roster. It's an accomplishment for us to stay competitive with that team.
Absolutely, and I can remember some lean years when we couldn't, and now, and it was fouled off by Ian. And now in just about all sports, probably all sports for the most part, Telfair can really compete with just about anybody.
Oh yes.
We can put a starting 9 out there, or starting 5 in basketball, starting 11 in football. Not so many, how many in tennis and all, but I know we have a bunch. So 7, I heard. Thank you for my technical director up there.
Just ask the tennis player.
There you go.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard John talking to Coach Cook that it's getting ready for playoffs over in tennis. I've heard both of our tennis teams have done good this year.
Oh yes, TJ has also mentioned that during the pregame show. Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot TJ mentions is that we're not going to mention out here tonight. Oh, we hope to get him out here one day. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little conference on the mound trying to settle the pitcher for Echols down. And again, can you pick up that number of the pitcher out there, Jacob? Is that number 11?
Let's see. I have to wait till he delivers another pitch.
Okay. We won't say just like dominoes we deliver. Got the stretch in the pitch. Nice solid hit. All the way between up to the center field, and 1 run's going to score. And you have runners on first and third. Well, the runner's going to take off for second. He's going to be safe. So 1-0 Telfair. Runners on second and third. Nobody out. And now it's time for the Jacob Harrell trivia, I think, with Trey Best coming up. What's that trivia you're talking about?
Just a little tidbit of information. Trey Best, just by checking Max Trips the other day, he is actually in a 3-way tie, I believe, for the lead in home runs within the state of Georgia.
Oh my gosh! He is one of the top 3.
Yes, he's actually in a 3-way tie for the lead in the state of Georgia right now. He's tied with 2 other guys from higher classification school who also have 9 home runs.
Wow! 1 ball, 1 strike on Trey.
Well, no, Mr. Deep, I take that back. This is Ryan, and then we have.
Okay, well we let the cat
out of the bag now.
Ryan Dobson up at the plate. Boy, a great swing to the center fielder. He makes the catch. The run's going to try to get home. He is going to be safe. Runner tags up, goes to third as well. So let's just recap it. Sacrifice fly by Ryan Dobson drives in a run. 2-0 Trojans, 1 out, and a runner on third.
So we're going to score that hit that Ian got. We're going to score it a double?
I think so, because even I'm not sure how the professor would do it,
right,
but we'll definitely do it. Looks like the pitcher is number 13, Weston Roberts, if my bifocals are correct.
I do believe that is a 13.
And again, just a technical note to the cameraman, John. The picture's coming in real good on this area, John.
And just
I
now
think
that
we got all the buttons pushed correctly, so we're doing well.
Now that Trey is up, just to add a little bit more information to it, I mean, just by talking to a couple of other people, I mean, with him having 9 this year, 5 last year, that's 14 on the career.
Wow.
I mean, he's only in his sophomore season, of course, and
right,
he's actually on pace. I mean, the Telfair County leader career-wise with the home run numbers is Aaron Mazzell, to no surprise.
No, I didn't realize that.
To no surprise, Aaron is actually the career leader in the baseball program here at Telfair. He's actually on pace to beat Aaron if he stays consistent.
Wow! Foul back by Trey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I can remember Aaron in some of those home runs. I remember as a freshman, one he hit down the right field line is what I used to call a Ruthian home run. It was 5,000 feet in the air before it finally came down.
I want to think final numbers when Aaron finally left or graduated from high school. He had around 21 or 22 career home runs, I think.
Incredible. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Though Aaron Mizell, Hart, there's a bunch of folks that have given us some wonderful memories, just like this team as well. Foul ball by Trey. Had a pretty good swing, just a tad late on that one. It's always a pleasure. I get to talk to Roy Best, Troy's dad, over at another school that I work at, Wheeler, which I'm very proud of. And boy, he tells us a lot about the dedication Trey has. And he does a great job.
Trey, to really describe him, he's just a natural-born athlete, really. You look at him, he's fat. I mean, you see his speed out here on the baseball field. You see him out there on the football field as well. I mean, his mind-boggling 40 time. He's in the 4.3s consistently.
Wow. Fly ball towards right. And the corner foul.
I can actually remember last year, Trey, being he's still up, we'll talk about it some more.
Right.
Trey, around last year, around the end of the school year, he was timed. His fastest time I remember him being at was around a 4.28 or 4.29, but it's actually slowed down a little bit because he's actually put on a little bit of weight, but still 4.3s for a high school sophomore.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
That is.
And he's still growing.
He's still going.
You know, one of the things when I look at Trey, who just drew a walk down at first, he's one of those that's deceptively strong. He's certainly built well. But to look at him, you think, wow, does he have a lot of power? I'm reminded of again, some of the old timers like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, that they always said that the power came a lot from the wrist, and they had quick wrist. And so it was very interesting to see. So next time we get a little closer on Trey, we'll take a close look at him.
You know, if you were to really ask anybody who's really experienced with hitting, I mean, I don't claim to be a baseball genius, but I do know this much, that really somebody with quick hands can do a lot. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you really just throw the hands out there, let the pitcher really do the work for you, because if a pitcher's throwing with the really high velocity, you meet the ball at the right time, the speed of that pitch is actually going to do most of the work for you. It's just you getting your hands out there, and the ball is going to just jump off the bat.
Well, it's a question of physics, of which I failed. So, but I'm sure one of our physics people out there could figure out the speed, velocity versus the force of the bat and kablooey, how it works.
I got you.
All right, we got another Trojan batter up there. I believe it's Ramsey.
Ramsey Hancock.
Ramsey Hancock.
Ramsey's up there. We have runners on first and third. Do we send the runner here, take a shot at it, Jacob? Looks like
We are going to do this.
Throw down to second, and he's safe. The runner on third didn't advance. You know, one of the things I'm just looking at, maybe my eyes are deceiving me, Jacob, is that a left-handed catcher?
Yes, that is, and you know that's actually
You don't see that too often.
No, you don't. It's kind of a rarity, especially in baseball. Wise, you see it more in softball.
All right, 2 runners on, 2-0 Trojans, all is well. And the pitch, like he was trying to bunt it, but it did not work out. Fouled off.
And throughout these past couple of games, Mr. Deep, I've really been impressed with Ramsey. Ramsey's coming into his own as a catcher, of course, following in his big brother's footsteps. I mean, Rustin did catch for a little bit while he was in high school.
Exactly.
He's becoming a phenomenal catcher, only a freshman. He is a freshman.
The ball gets away from the catcher. The runner is headed towards home, and he'll be in without a throw. Other runner advances from second to third, so Trey Best is on third. 3-0 Trojans here in the first inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Trojans having a good inning, and again, the Echols pitcher, again, struggling a little bit. He's made some good pitches, but the Trojans have done a good job of hitting him at this point. And there's called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Jacob, again, we have a beautiful day for baseball here, just a slight breeze. This is the kind of day that you just enjoy being outside.
Oh, yes, you're exactly right. This, to me, really is ideal baseball weather. Actually, have the sun out and also it's kind of warm, but have that breeze blowing through.
Oh, it does. Right now, the breeze isn't so hard that I don't think it would affect. It looks like it's blowing a little out towards right.
Yes.
All right, full count, pitch, ball low. So we have runners on first and third for the Trojans. And I believe, is it Noah Harrelson coming to bat?
That is.
And again, looks like we're getting a pinch runner for Ramsey. Not sure if...
Let's see, I believe that's number 3, Trey Blankenship.
All right, we'll double check on that and see. I actually have my roster today, so I'm doing better today. Appreciate that courtesy of Mike Spires at M&C Bank. Yeah, Trey Blankenship, number 3, is a pinch runner over at first. We've been successful running. Look for him to go on either. There he goes. They throw down to second. He's going to be safe. Runner does not advance from third, so 2 runners in scoring position. Runners on second and third. And we have 1 out. Taking a look, Bob Hendricks kind of is sitting on top of the fence up there. I think you may see him on your screen. Hope a foul ball doesn't come near him with that left-handed batter. Taking pictures for Telfair snapshots. Noah at the plate, pitch. Ball, it looks like. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jacob, when we get to the break in just a minute, we'll hit the sponsors, and then also may have to talk a little bit of baseball from the college and the pro ranks a little bit too.
Sounds good.
Maybe a little G day as the thing goes as we go through. Another ball, 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitcher for Echols has really thrown a large number of pitches here in this first inning. Now it looks like ball 4, so the bases are juiced for the Trojans. Runners on first, second, and third.
Batting for the Trojans.
And the score is 3-0 Trojans here in the first inning.
Whenever we
And-
talk about GA, there's a certain symbol that I saw in a hype video for Georgia that I want to comment on as well.
Hey, sounds great. And also we got a lot of folks. Ball gets by the catcher, the run from third strike to advance. It's going to be safe. So it makes it 4-0 Trojans. And runners on second and third. And again, Jacob 1 out. This is one of those big innings that, like we say, you better get them while you can because you never know. Any of these teams are very dangerous.
Oh yes, without a doubt.
I remember the Braves 10-2 lead we won't talk about against the Cubs the other day. There's a solid hit caught by the second baseman, throw to first, but the runner will score. So with 2 outs, they give up the out for the run. It's 5-0 Trojans. Trojans up 5-0, 2 outs here in the first inning.
Batting for Telfair, third baseman number 2, Jared Dobson.
And we're just about around Jared Dobson, the batter. And I believe, is that the 9th one to come about this inning?
Yes, it's the bottom of the lineup.
Reminds me of a quick story when I watched the Braves. I was up there back in '78 when they played a team, the Montreal Expos. Braves weren't real good there, Jacob. Andre Dawson was the first batter to hit a home run. He came up later the same inning, hit another one, 2 in the same inning. I'm sure some of our old timers might remember Andre, big old fella for the Montreal Expos. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 5-0 Trojans here in the first inning. Glad to be joined by Jacob Harrell. And I know Mike Spires will be coming down, and he and I switch, and I'll get to go on the radio side of things with TJ the Truth Deep. If you don't want the truth, don't sit next to T. It's the truth as he sees it. It's like another ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. And another walk. Oh, the runner on third thought he almost had some thoughts of going on in, Jacob.
He sure did, but I think he did a good job of staying put.
And again, for those of y'all just joining us or into the broadcast a little bit, we're at a little bit different camera angle today because the gates were locked. No fault of anybody. We just apparently weren't able to get in, so we're on the side. At least we didn't have to pay admission. Very true. We appreciate Telfair County High School and Telfair County School System for all they do to allow us to bring these games. Throw down to second, high throw, runners on second and third on a stolen base. That's about the 4th one, I believe, this inning. And again, Lynn Harrelson and Mr. Calvert and Mr. Bill Wood, they're great guys. We really appreciate them cooperating with us. And again, during the break here, we'll talk a lot about sponsors and also a little bit about our senior night, what we're going to do to recognize them. Pitcher is going into the regular windup, Jacob, in the pitch. Another ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. I was going to say, Jacob, too, I was checking out some of Mike's notes. I hate to say it, I was stealing some of his notes. And got a lot of important games in the region we'll need to look at later on today as well.
Yes, we do.
There's a solid hit to the second baseman. He bobbles it, but he recovers, throws to first, and we're at the end of the first inning. So, Trojans have a very productive first inning. So, at the end of the first inning, your score, Trojans 5 and Echols nothing. Jacob, real quick, just want to say a shout out and a real thanks to the Merchants and Citizens Bank of McRae for being one of the first sponsors, or the first sponsor of Deep Productions. We really appreciate what they do for us. And again, as we get started with some, like I say, the last few games we've been doing these, did some concerts and all of Gage Harrelson that we've done as a practice. Try to get some things, bugs ironed out, which we've seen some things. We're about to get attacked by these ball players coming through. And again, getting those done. But we want to thank Merchants Citizens Bank. So as we get started for the real in May, that hey, we'll have a good quality product to give everyone. Want to thank Deep and Deeper Cleaning. I believe I know the CEO of that one. He's such a nice man. Appreciate their sponsorship. Also, the Telfair County Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to be starting a monthly program with this Tom Rocky Chamber Director to kind of see what's going on in Telfair County. We'll be doing a little podcast and again, bringing some activities around the county thanks to our sponsors. Appreciate Paula. And then if you haven't had a chance to visit, please visit our website at www.deepproductionsllc.com. If you're on YouTube, go to Deep Productions. And same with Facebook. Check it out for this game. If you go on Facebook, it would probably be Telfair versus Echols is what you would look up and be able to go with that.
Top of the second inning for the Wildcats. The first baseman, number 21, Jordan Nolan.
Oh yeah, and we also, I've been told by my better half that we also welcome comments, good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
What we can do to improve the broadcast, and we're always self-critiquing ourselves too. So
yeah.
as long as you don't use the bad words, we're glad to hear from you.
Oh, yeah.
And anything positive we're doing, we appreciate that too. There's a strike, Jacob.
Yeah, Mr. Deep, just to run down this quick note that Mike and I discussed during the pregame show that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Mike was saying, looks like Baconton will be the only region champ below us, like I've already said, so we'd be at 5, possibly be knocked down to 6. If things stay true to form, that we'd be looking at an Elite 8 matchup. If we get past the round of 16, we'll be looking at an Elite 8 matchup with the Charlton County Indians.
Boy, would that not be big. Now, that would be at Charlton,
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
that would be down in Folkestone because of them being a higher seed than us.
Strikeout on that batter, so 1 out already. 5-0 Trojans, top of the second if you're just joining us. Jacob, one of the things that would be interesting about that, we'd have to certainly check with GHSA on guidelines, and I was talking to Bob Hendricks earlier today, and some of the things that he's run into with his picture company and playoffs, so hopefully we can be able to bring the games from Charlton. Great guys down there. Spoke to an Adam Bell to help us with our production company. Really appreciate his help. There's the bounce to the short, 1 hop, long throw. Nice stretch by Noah Harrelson.
It sure was. I mean, there's been a lot of games this year that Noah's actually done a good job of actually bailing out our infielders.
Oh, I tell you, that was a tricky ball. It was a 1-hopper to the shortstop.
It was. Yeah.
Jacob, looking around the league a little bit, I know today Lanier's playing Wilcox and Charlton's at Clinch. Of course, us here with Telfair playing Echols. That Charlton and Clinch game could have some real implications if Clinch could, hold their own. They're at Clinch. And then that would open it wide open for Irwin. Grounder to the second baseman, up and throwing. And guys, a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to the bottom of the second. That was quick.
It sure was. About a 4 or 5 pitch inning, wasn't it?
Exactly. So after, the middle of the second inning, Trojans 5, Echols no score. Jacob, as far as some of the things with Georgia baseball, you alluded to a fact that there was a symbol or something that you had seen with Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, what was that you were checking out?
Well, it was actually a hype video that the Georgia football program had released. I noticed one of the Georgia football players carrying an axe.
An axe?
Yeah, they were carrying an axe with the bulldog face stamped on the blade. And basically in this hype video, there was a quote attached to it. I'm pretty sure Kirby must have used it at one of the team meetings, I'm guessing. But it's a quote by former President Abraham Lincoln.
What did it say?
It said, "If you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I will spend the first 4 sharpening my axe." I will spend the first 4 sharpening my axe. And basically that's alluding to staying out on the field, sharpening the skills, and then going out there and doing what you do best and chop down that figurative tree.
Hey, I tell you, that's a great one. I was thinking when you said that, maybe we have an axe to grind against maybe Alabama and some of these.
Right, or that, I really didn't think about that, and that could be a secondary meaning. With the official rosters for GA have also been released as well. Jake Fromm will be manning the red team, and Justin Fields will be manning the black team. I'm very, very excited to see these two duke it out at G-Day.
Are we looking at a big crowd, you think?
Well, especially with Fields coming in, possibly the number 1 quarterback in the nation from this past year, I'm sure a lot of people will want to come to Athens and check him out. So yes, I mean, I won't say 93,000 again, but I'll say, especially with 20,000 seats being blocked off,
Right.
I'll say 60 to 65,000 maybe.
That's going to be an incredible
Yeah.
group up that way.
Yeah.
Just reminded that again, if you would visit our website, which is www.deepproductionsllc.com. Also, our YouTube, Deep Productions, and Facebook, Deep Productions as well. Again, we're hyping it. Want you to please go on there to take a look, not just at this game, but also others. And again, just kind of a quick word to the cameraman. It looks like I say, that the picture here looks good from our vantage point. And so again, John's doing a great job. He's going to get a tan the hard way here with that sun going on him.
You're right. Just a quick note, you talked about there was implications on a two-way race for the region.
Yes.
Mike also released these notes to us as well. Charlton will win the region with either a win over Clinch or an Irwin loss to Atkinson. Irwin will take the region with a win over Atco and a Charlton loss to Clinch.
Wow.
So Irwin actually has to do more. I mean, they've got to win and hope that Charlton gets beat.
So their destiny is definitely rested on Clinch tonight.
Yes.
Absolutely. If we get some updates, I know that again this is recorded, but if we get some updates, we'll still try to pass them on to everybody. Foul ball by again the batter. Who is that batter for us now, Jacob?
That is, we're back
Is
around
that the Cameo or Harrison?
We're back around to Cameo.
Cameo, okay. And first time I believe he walked and got on
Yes,
base.
he walked and did score a run.
Trojans up 5-0. And again, we are very appreciative of all of you that are taking the time to watch a part of all of this ball game with us. Again, a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes on the batter, which is Cameo trying to have a big afternoon. Reach base at the first. Ball outside.
Swing and a miss, and that'll be a strikeout with Cameo Blankenship. That was just a pitch that Cameo was able just to. He actually kind of lunged after it and just missed it.
Again, sounds like one of my private helicopters flying
Oh, yeah.
overhead. I wonder if that's Bubba and Merle.
It could be. I mean,
From
it's
years
been,
ago.
It's been a while since we've heard from Bubba and Merle.
Might better keep going ahead for a while.
Yeah.
Those of you that don't know Bubba and Merle, they were our helicopter pilots on the radio show a while back. Always worried about them two boys. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And again, it looks like a pitch in there for another ball, possibly. 5-0. Trojans on top here in the second inning. And the pitch. Nice pitch, but a great swing. Looked like that was a home run cut by
Oh,
Ian.
yes. He seemed to really like that pitch, and it looked like he actually swung under that one.
He did. Again, if you're just joining us in this inning, Cameo was the first batter, struck out. And now we got his brother Ian up there. And again, Ian is one of those seniors, I believe, isn't he, Jacob?
He is.
Ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Again, we've had a good crowd coming in and out here of Trojan Field. Beautiful afternoon. Pitch is low and in the dirt, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And as we were saying, if you're just joining us, Trojans are around number 5 in the power rankings, looking to stay there. Possibly, as Jacob said, could drop to number 6, but as long as we're in that top 8.
Oh, yes.
Playoffs, I believe, for the other teams. Looks like it hit him, I believe, and he goes to first. Playoffs, I believe, for those that are not in the Elite 8, or excuse me, the top 8, I believe, Jacob, I read they start on Thursday, the 26th next week.
I believe that's right, yes.
So that would mean the Trojans, if they can hang on to one of the top 8 spots, would have a week off
Yes.
to scout and practice. And then go
Which could
from
really
there.
do us some good.
Batting for Telfair, a senior, the pitcher, number 14, Ryan Dobson.
Ryan Dobson up to the plate. If you heard Rex's voice, good. Rex Conley does a great job with the PA. Boy, we're running today. Run towards second. Stolen base by Ian. Obviously, Jacob, we probably stole 5 or 6 bases. We have definitely seen something either with the pitcher's motion or the catcher one. That's getting these steals pretty good. I wonder if they would be bold and try to go to third.
You know, we haven't seen a lot of tries on stealing third this year. So I think you put a correct term on it. That would be a bold move, being that you haven't done it.
With the lead this big, you might could try it, but I don't know. I doubt that they will.
No.
Runner's taking a fairly sizable lead off of second. Shortstop playing in behind him. Got the stretch in the pit. Well, he is trying to run. There was a little hit and run going. Long fly ball to left field, and he drops it. Runner from second is going to try to make it to third, and he does. It was a good idea by a coach to have a little hit and run going on, but the runner had to really race back. But tough play. I think the sun may have gotten a hold of the left fielder. You know, at the Dodge game over here a couple of weeks ago, that left fielder, didn't he? Jacob had a little trouble with it.
Yes, he did. And like we said before, the way this field's aligned, that sun can really mess with you. Looks like that one for Ryan's going to go down in the books as reaching on an E7.
I believe it's got to. Got a pinch runner in for Ryan. That way he can rest a little bit before going out to pitch. And pitch. There's a long drive, and it's going to go. Oh, it's going in against the wall between the center fielder and the left fielder. Runner from first is going to score. Makes it 7-0, excuse me. And the batter, I believe that was Trey Best.
Trey Best.
You know, showed a little bit of that power. When I heard that ball come off the bat, I thought I better duck. Not sure.
That was literally almost number 10.
And again, those just joining us, Trey is tied with 2 others for the lead in the state for home runs, according to Max Preps, I believe it was, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you bringing that up to our attention. But the runner's go. Trey's trying to make it to third on a bad wild pitch, and I believe he makes it. 7-0 Telfair, runner on third. Only 1 out. I believe Cameo started the inning with a strikeout.
He did.
I'm stealing a little bit of your notes. Ryan Reeks, I believe, on E7. Trey Best with a double and a stolen base. Now we got old Ramsey Hancock up there now to bat. And the wind up and the pitch. Ball inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. I tell you that whoever's keeping the score up there is doing a great job on the ball and strikes. That wouldn't be Selena up there, would it?
It's either, it could be Mama or it could be Caleb one. Well, no, Caleb's calling the game.
Well, we'll throw a prop out to Selena, who does a great job up there. She's kind of the jack of all trades. Mm-hmm. With the PA and also with the balls and strikes. Appreciate it. Strike there. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the second inning.
Just by looking at my notes, Mr. Deep, really, I mean, I'm real happy with the approach at the plate today by the Trojan hitters. I mean, it's aggressive but also patient at the same time.
Exactly. They're not chasing a lot of bad pitches today.
Right.
Now batting first base.
All right, we got the runners on first and third. If the pattern holds true to form, we're looking at that runner possibly taking a lead. Well, the pinch runner, that is.
So yet again, that's another walk for that Echols pitcher.
Exactly. Trojans have played a great game to start with. Echols, like I say, they've struggled a little bit here this afternoon, but like we say, it's got a long way to go. You never know.
If my notes are up to date, that's his 7th walk.
Wow. And he's probably faced 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be his 15th batter. So yeah, those walks are going to kill you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Runner on first is getting ready, taking a small lead. Now he takes a little bigger one. Throws back over to first. Ball gets away from the first baseman. The runner's going to score. Runner's going to advance to second. And so we have a runner on second, and it's 8-0 Trojans. And again, I can't get over the work of the cameraman, and like we say, this very, very sunny afternoon.
Okay, so Trey actually ends up scoring on that again.
We see a celebrity just came up, Doug Williams. How you doing, Doug? It's good to see you.
Great day.
It's a beautiful day for baseball.
Okay, so Trey actually did just score on that
Yep, on
throwaway
that
there.
pitch. And again, I know that we're recording. I don't want to get Doug in too much trouble, but are we counting down the days, Doug?
Let's get close.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. We enjoy teaching, but it's nice to have a little break, isn't it? Tell you what, old Doug's had a lot of his family playing ball over the years, with Drew and Daniel playing some football and baseball and you name it. Both of them doing mighty well in college. So we're glad to see it. And Hannah, of course, is my favorite. Don't tell the boys that, because I always enjoyed her and her singing. It does a wonderful job. Pitch a little bit off there. Looks like a 3-ball, 1-strike count with 1 out. Trojans still up 8-0. Again, we appreciate Doug stopping by here. And I believe he called that a strike, didn't he, Jacob?
I believe so.
3 balls.
On that play right there where you see Trey making it to second, I mean, we're not going to put that in the books as a stolen base, because that was a throw over.
It really was.
And
Did you call it an error, maybe?
I want to say
or
moving over to second on an error.
fly ball. Looks like the center fielder, the left fielder could not find it, and it drops in. So nobody touches it. I guess someone goes a single. Runners on first and third with 1 out today. The Trojans up 8-0 and threatening, and it looks like the manager for Echols, the coach, is coming out. Don't know if we're going to have a pitching change or if he's just going to try to talk and slow him down. This is a good time just to remind you that, again, our sponsors for today's game are the Merchants and Citizens Bank, Deep and Deeper Cleaning, Deep Productions. Again, we appreciate all of them helping us out. We also want to mention the Chamber of Commerce, and again, the monthly podcast will be starting in the month of May with Paula Rogers, the Chamber Director. Looking forward to that. Got to be making a couple of calls in about a week to set up some times. Also, we want to say, if you have a chance to visit our website, www.deepproductionsllc.com, and our YouTube, Deep Productions, and Facebook, Deep Productions. I'm trying to think how many. I guess we're all over the place.
Oh yes, and trust me, we are gaining popularity because I surf social media a good bit. I'm also on my computer doing schoolwork as well. Deep Productions is becoming more and more popular day by day.
It really is. Right now on the website, just received this updated number, or excuse me, on our YouTube and website. I might hand the mic over to this person telling me all this. That on our website and on YouTube, we have had 1,690 hits.
Wow.
And that's only been since March 17th, I believe, so in a month. And again, the podcast, the Sports Talk, we've seen those numbers start to grow, Jacob, which has been good. We've had an average of anywhere from 35 to 100, depending upon when we've done it, going straight to YouTube. Doesn't include the numbers coming on here at the games. We've had some great numbers, so hey, we're doing great. I also want to say a big thanks to Gage Harrelson. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but Gage Harrelson was in concert over at Pond Town Festival in Ryan. Went over there on a Saturday night in Ryan. Had us a great time. The people that set it up were just most gracious. And I didn't know that Gage the Hammer, who could hit somebody pretty hard in football, could belt out some notes, Jacob.
Oh yeah, I mean, Gage has been singing for a good bit now. I mean, he's pretty much gone and made the decision to try to make a career out of this. I mean, he's well on his way.
And he's doing a great job. And you know, you talk about singing. Some of the people he hit, I remember, used to sing the blues after that. I tell you what, he's got a couple of singles that have come out. Gage does. A couple of original tunes. I'll have to go back and check the names of them, but one of them in particular, I believe it's called "Show Me What You Got." We're toying with to maybe use as the theme for the Telfair football team this year when we do the music before a ball game. It's a hard Southern rock tune, but boy, it has some bite to it, man. So I think people would love it.
Young.
Bryce Young's going to be the batter. And again, I gauged the other day, and then we'll go back, gauge a little bit. It was backed up by a great band with Chuck Hudson, Cody Smith, and a bunch of others out that way. So good time, just like we're having at the old ballpark. Runner takes off for second. No throw. So we have runners on the second and third. And Jacob, if you are in a situation like this, down 8-0 from the Trojan standpoint, you just keep doing what you're doing. But after this pitch, ball. But if you're on the other end of it, how do you try to fight, the deficit here? Because it's got to be kind of difficult at this point.
Well, I mean, for Echols right now being down 8-0, I mean, you pretty much
Fouled off.
it starts with that pitching change, I do believe. Of course, you could see he had walked just under half of the batters he had faced. So
Right.
I mean, I think he needed to be pulled there. You got to basically put your trust in the pitcher that's on the mound now. Come back in here and actually try to heat up the bats a little bit. Try to get to Ryan, which by all means we hope they don't.
That's
get to Ryan.
right, because
I
he
mean, we hope they don't get to Ryan, but I'm just belting out little suggestions on what they would need to do if they want to come back.
I mean, when you go down 8-0, again, I guess what you could do is call 1-800 Cubs and find out about how to come back from a 10-2. And I'm not
Exactly.
even going to mention the New England Falcon game from a couple of years
no.
back. But again, Trojans up 8-0. It's all's fine right now. And again, in a few moments, we'll give you some contact numbers to get in touch with us on these productions, either for some suggestions, positive, negative, and also if you're interested in being a sponsor.
Okay, Bryce just struck out, I do believe.
Appreciate that, Jacob. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Be nice to get a hit here and get a couple more home. Just joining us, 8-0 Trojans on a really nice day. Some of the radio crew will probably be joining us probably somewhere towards the middle of the third inning. Good play by the catcher to keep a runner from scoring there. Batter gets in, pitcher is back in. Gets in a stretch and a pitch. Swing and again a foul down that right field line. Both runners were getting ready to go through, Jacob.
Oh, yes.
But Jacob, as we go through again, it's been a great season. And again, hopefully it will continue into the playoffs. And one of the things that we have looked at, whereas Echols has kind of struggled, we seem to have found the rhythm with 2 or 3 really consistent starters for the Trojans this year.
Oh, yeah, we sure have. I mean, like I said, this team's depth is deeper than what people would actually think if you really look at this roster.
Hit back to the pitcher, throws over to first for the out. And we are through a long bottom of the second for Echols and a great bottom of the second for the Trojans. So we're in the bottom of the second inning, going to the third. Trojans 8, Echols 0. You can call us, contact us, or email us at 229-315-2564, or excuse me, 2569. I have trouble with writing and reading here. That's again 229-315-2569. Or you can email us, and I'm having to read this. It looks like Deep Productions. Is that LLC? Nope. Hang on. Read it to me, Patty.
Deep Productions 18.
Okay, deepproductions18@gmail.com. So you can email us or just call me, 229-315-2569. Again, Jacob, if you've been keeping up with a little bit with the Braves and all with the sports and all that's going on, let's just talk a little bit about them for a minute. Even though they had that rough game against the Cubs, that sure was played in some bad weather the other day.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, I think the last game that they played was, I think it was 29 degrees, and,
Oh my
and the
gosh.
wind speeds was 25 miles per hour with a 19-degree wind chill.
And no excuse to lose, but you know, the bottom line is that could have been pretty dangerous for player safety, couldn't it?
You're
Especially
right.
with your pitchers.
Especially in those certain type of situations, it's hard to hit, and literally it's hard to throw the ball as well. See, Joe Madden, of course, the winning manager,
Oh, yeah.
winning manager in that sense, even said in his press conference, said this game should have never been played.
Absolutely.
I mean, and whenever your winning manager says that, I mean, you never should have been out there on the field.
Exactly. But the interesting thing, that's why I love sports, Jacob, because the next night the Braves beat the Phillies. I think it was that Monday night or night after on a Monday night, 2-1, and the bullpen did an incredible job.
Now batting left
Yeah,
field.
they did.
You just never know what's going to happen from one game to the next, one pitch to the next. That's why that's the beauty of sports. Top of the third, Ryan Dobson, I believe, still on the hill, if I'm not mistaken. Trojans up 8-0, trying to nail down this final regular season home game on a very nice senior night. Bouncer to the shortstop. Does a nice job fielding it. Good throw by the shortstop for the Trojans, number 6, I believe it was. Is that Ian?
Yes, it is.
Over that way with that quarterback arm.
Oh, yes.
He has a gun. Has a cannon for an arm.
Being we were just talking about the Braves for a quick
Yeah.
second before we get started, and the big news for the Braves also, they actually made a free agent signing just lately by Alex Anthopoulos, their GM, who once was with the Blue Jays, reunited with one of his favorite players. They have signed 36-year-old Jose Bautista.
Really?
Yes.
Now that's a name from the past,
Yeah.
Jacob. Now how are the Braves you feel going to fit him in?
Well, according to the reports, Alex Anthopoulos and all the other team personnel said that they're planning on having him play third base instead of right field.
That's interesting. Strikeout, by the way, of the Trojans. That's 2 outs for Echols. And again, so they're kind of waiting on Camargo, I guess, to maybe
Well, they've
come on back out. Or what's the deal on that?
They actually have called up Johan Camargo, and Johan Camargo is now actually with Atlanta. But they've sent Jose Bautista down to the spring training facility in Orlando to work out for about 2 or 3 weeks because he hasn't had any baseball activity at all. But also
get that veteran leadership in the clubhouse. Solid hit. Looks like Noah Harrelson's trying to get under it, and he does. And Jacob, I hate to jinx it, but that's another 3 up, 3 down.
Oh, yeah.
And going to the middle of the third, it's 8-0, and I believe Ryan has one going, but I can't say what about a jinx him.
Oh yes, I mean we can't say it yet. We'll have to get later into the game and see if it still holds up.
Absolutely. But that's a good acquisition, I think, for the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word on Ronald Acuna?
Well, just to comment more about about Jose Bautista
yeah.
first, I've actually told a lot of people really that if I was Anthopoulos and Snicker, I would probably platoon him with Nick Markakis because he now has turned himself into a right fielder. He hasn't played third base in a while. And basically, kind of put him out there in right field. Give Nick Markakis a couple of days off. Let him play out there once he gets up to Atlanta. But third base, he can play third base. Throughout his whole career, he's played 6 positions. I mean,
Right.
he can play the corners, and he can play the corners of the infield, and also corners of the outfield as well.
Now, is this Markakis' contract year?
This is his contract.
So
Yes.
could he be on the trade deadline, trading block, possibly as they get closer to the deadline?
It's possible. I mean, there was talks around saying that if the Braves are in contention for anything, they probably won't let anybody touch him. But also, if they've kind of fallen off the block again, they might put him out there and see what they get. But
Sounds great.
But to address your comment about Ronald Acuna, he's only hitting in the mid 130s right now. I mean,
So he needs a little bit more.
He needs a little more seasoning. A lot of people thought that he would go down there, kind of light it up for a month in AAA like he did in spring training, and then probably come on up to Atlanta. Now it seems like his deservingly so. I do believe they need to delay the call-up right now because let him get a little better.
Absolutely. Well, guys, Jacob, I've enjoyed working with you, man. I'm going to go over to the radio side for a couple of innings, and then y'all don't leave me hanging up there when it's over now because y'all do a great job on the post-game show.
Oh, well, trust me, I'll be up there in a little bit.
Look forward to it. Thanks for working with us. Come on in, Mike. If I can. Yeah, I'll be in a little bit.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for Telfair, Trojan second baseman, number 1, Harrison Wood.
All right, we are.
Good
I'm
to have
come
you back
over
down
from
here.
radio side. Yep, Telfair leading it 8-0 here on Senior Day, and Trojans taking advantage of some walks from Weston Roberts, the starting pitcher for Echols, who got chased pretty quickly, Jacob.
Yeah, he sure did, and I actually looked through here. I do believe he finished with 7 walks. I do believe after facing 15 hitters. I do believe.
Oh,
So that's basically half of the batters that he faced.
But as we said up on radio, the Trojans got to give them credit because they showed a lot of good plate discipline there. There's a ground ball to second. Throw over to first. 4-3 on the put out there. And so Harrison's retired. Here in the third. And it'll be Cameo Blankenship, the hitter. Blankenship 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. And that walk coming back in the first. He would later come around and score on the sacrifice fly RBI from Ryan Dobson. Pitch misses. 1-0 the count. If you're just joining us, it is 8-0 Telfair here, bottom of the third on Senior Day, Telfair County and Echols County. That pitch misses, so 2-0 the count. Pitch from Cox, and that one misses as well, so now 3-0 the count. So again, good plate discipline from the Trojans.
Oh yes, without a doubt. And Mike, maybe this will make sense because I made this point to Mr. Deep that the plate approaches today for the Trojans, to me it looks patient but aggressive at the same time.
Yep, exactly. Good analysis. And there again, another walk as Cameo Blankenship walked for the second time of the day as well.
Number 6,
Ian Blankenship now the hitter. Ian 1 for 1 on the day and was hit by a pitch. Had a single and an RBI back in the first, and hit by a pitch in the second. He has scored a couple of runs and has a stolen base on the day. So a good Senior Day so far from Ian. Pitch from Cox. And runner goes and will steal second. Trojans with a plethora of stolen bases on the day. We'll have to go back and add those up, but they have been running at will. As the catcher as well for Echols, struggling quite a bit edgy. He has struggled today as well. Pitch there misses. 2-0 the count. 1 out, 8-0 Telfair leading it here in the third.
Like whenever you have a chance, you can go back and check. I mean, I may maybe one or two off, but I'm counting 6 stolen bags right now.
Okay. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Runner still goes, and will steal third. So
Make that 7.
And that's Cameo again. So Cameo with another stolen base, second this inning. And that puts runner 60 feet away. 3-0 the count, 1 out. Telfair leading it 8-0. The pitch from Cox. And that misses. And that will be ball 4. And another walk. So Cox is, unfortunately for Echols, following the same pattern as Roberts. Now 2 walks for him this inning. But we'll take it. Telfair
yes.
leading at 8-0.
Without a doubt, it goes back to the point I made. I mean, it's aggressive plate approach, but they're also being patient. They're not chasing bad pitches.
And now Ian goes, and he'll steal another base. And so Trojans are threatening to blow this thing and end it. What is the run rule for 3 innings?
15, I think. I do believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
And 12 after 4?
I do believe it's 15, 12, 8.
There's a high fly ball that will reach the seats.
I do believe if you go in preceding order of innings, I do believe it's 15, 12, 8.
And what I mean by reach the seats, foul, excuse me. 1-1 the count, 1 out. Pitch, ground ball to short. That'll get to the left side. That should score a run. And that'll make it 9-0 Telfair. So give Ryan a single and an RBI. Second RBI of the day, as Ryan is now 1 for 3 on the day, but 2 RBIs. He reached on an error as well. So the seniors are stepping up, Jacob.
Oh yes, without a doubt. They are stepping up and showing out today. A perfect day for them to be showing out.
So runners now on first and third. Trey Best, the hitter. Be a good time for Trey to take 1 yard here. Trey already with a double on the day and a couple of RBIs.
I'd also mention to Mr. Deep that Trey right now is actually sitting tied in a 3-way tie, I do believe, for the lead in home runs in the state of Georgia right now.
Wow. And that's another stolen base there. The pinch, who is that pinch runner?
That is Jalen Clemens.
There's a ground ball to second. Second baseman will throw over to first to retire the out. Goes 4-3 on the put out. Give Trey an RBI, and that scores the 10th run of the game for the Trojans. Now 10-0 Trojans.
Pitcher, number 5, Ramsey Hancock.
Ramsey Hancock is 0 for 0 on the day with 2 walks. So has been walked both times. The pitch from Cox. Call strike. 0-1 the count. 2 outs here. Telfair leads it 10-0 here at Trojan Field on Senior Day 2018 and last day of the regular season. The pitch from Cox. That's in the dirt. That will get away from the catcher, and that will score another run. I think you got to score that a wild pitch.
Yes, it was a wild pitch.
But I tell you, Edgy, the communication between pitcher and catcher have been an issue today for the Wildcats, no doubt about it. 11-0 Telfair leading it here in the third. That pitch, I believe, called strike there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cox gets the sign and the pitch. Ball. So 2-2 the count. 2 outs, 11-0 Telfair leading it. And of course, stay tuned after the game for a post-game show. There's a liner down the left field line. That left fielder will get over to it and fire it back in to hold him to a single. But another good at bat there from Ramsey Hancock. What'd you see on that one, Jacob?
That right there was just a good piece of hitting. Ramsey actually sat back and waited on the pitch to get kind of deep into the zone and pulled it straight down this left field line.
See, that's one of the things that I've really been impressed with the Trojans today. They've really waited back on the breaking balls and done a good job not committing and bringing the hands forward too quick. So Noah Harrelson now the hitter. Noah 1 for 1 on the day with a walk. The delivery from Cox. Call strike. Echols County 4-19 on the season. Has been a tough year for the Wildcats. Just trying to close their season out. They have a game tomorrow against Hamilton County from down in Jasper, Florida. And Trojans, of course, we have a lot of baseball ahead of us, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
It's playoff baseball as Trojans look to have a bye in the first round. They're pretty much locked up now from that standpoint. And just waiting to see who in the world will play here in a couple of weeks. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, 11-0. Trojans leading it here over Echols County.
And actually, the good thing for us is that it's good that we're going to host at least one round of these playoffs here.
Off-speed pitch, over for a strike.
Because I can remember last year, I do believe, calling these playoff games last year, it always seemed like the atmosphere got that much more electric.
Oh, yeah. That Troutland series was absolutely incredible here. So 1-2 the count, 2 outs, Telfair leading at 11-0. called strike 3 on the outside corner. So that'll do it for the Trojans here in the third, but they add to their lead. 3 more plated, and so the lead goes from 8-0 to 11-0, and we go to the fourth with Telfair leading it 11-0. Trojans there in that inning. Jacob, just some thoughts here and observations, and I'll work on some numbers here.
Man, I'm very impressed. I mean, really, I'm impressed with what I've seen today. I mean, much better than the last game that we were able to call. I mean, during that Dodge game, of course, TJ made mention of the controversial fair foul call, which basically what I said in the postgame show led to the influx of runs from Dodge there. And of course, they come back Tuesday in that 5-0 win versus Lanier, and then they come in here today and play 11 so far. I do believe coming into the bottom of the inning, if they can get at least one more run, I do believe that'll be it. I mean, but as of right now, I mean, seems like to me they're doing everything right.
Yeah, I agree. And let's update the line scores here after 3 innings complete. For Echols County, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, they've left none. For Telfair, 11 runs, 5 hits, no errors, they've left 5. And that brought to you courtesy of Deep and Deeper Cleaning. So Ryan has had an outstanding day on the hill. It's been 9 up and 9 down so far. And maybe just as impressive as that, 3 Ks, not a single ball has left the infield yet. We've had all ground, 3 strikeouts. We've had 5 ground ball outs, and then 1 pop up to the first baseman. So pretty good day when the ball has not left the infield.
Oh yes, without a doubt. Ryan is pretty much firing on all cylinders right now.
All right, so we'll be back to the top of the lineup for Echols. This inning you'll have Colt Cox, Hunter Morey, and Kyler Cox, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. And of course, Colt Cox started the game in center field and came on in relief of Weston Roberts as Roberts moved over to first base.
Mr. Deep was saying a while ago, talking about Ryan, how he's firing on all cylinders. He said he doesn't want to say anything just yet because he doesn't really want to jinx it. But right now, Ryan's just so determined right now, and he's firing those pitches in left and right. I don't think there's anything going to distract him.
That pitch gets away from Hancock for a ball. Yeah, he's especially from up there on the radio vantage point. He's had great control, great location of his pitches. He's worked his 2-seamer, 4-seamer, cutter. He's thrown that breaking ball occasionally, but really hasn't had to do much with the breaking ball. That pitch fouled off, so 1 ball, 1 strike, because he's had such good command. And really Jacob, he really hasn't had to throw a lot of pitches.
No, not really. I mean, there was I can't remember if it was the second or the third, and me and Mr. Deep were out here, and we were discussing one point, and then all of a sudden we see a ground ball get hit. Ian throws over for the third out, and he threw maybe 5 pitches in that half of the inning.
The 2-1 pitch that fouled off as well.
Today would have been a perfect day to actually have a pitch clicker out here just to count how many pitches he's thrown today.
Yeah. That foul ball retrieved by a fan from Milan, Georgia. So that a ground ball to third. Bad throw there. And that's Jalen Clements has moved over to third base, correct? Number 4?
Yes, that is number 4.
So an opportunity for Clements to get in the game. Unfortunately, just probably some nerves there, and just a throw off there.
Yeah, you're right, nerves, and also it seemed that it kind of got into his head. He thought he had less time than what he did.
So that'll be an E5 there if you're scoring at home. Now it'll be Hunter Morey, the hitter, the second baseman for Echols. He grounded out to third, back in the first. 0-1 the count. Ryan from the stretch, the pitch. Had another ground ball to third. Great play by Clemens. He won't have a play throw, but great fielding there. Are they going to say it's a foul ball? Let's see. They're going to say, They're discussing it. They're going to send him back home. Yeah. We haven't had much luck with fair foul calls this week.
No, we haven't.
So it will be a foul ball, but I'm going to tell you what, great play by Jalen Clemens.
Yes, by all means. I mean, they got some great reflexes over there at the hot corner. He was able to go over and actually backhand that ball.
Isn't that the way it goes? You come into the game and get two balls hit to you right off the bat.
Exactly.
The pitch from Ryan, swing and a miss.
That's basically just the way baseball works. The ball finds the new guy.
So Morey goes down swinging there.
Third baseman, number 4.
What's Ryan's strikeout count right now?
Ryan, glad you brought that up because I was just fixing to go there. Ryan registering his 4th K of the day. All swinging too.
And you see that right there also shows the how seasoned of a pitcher he is now, senior year, of course. I mean, he's not relying on himself. I mean, only 4 Ks. And he's also relied mostly on the defense as well.
All right, ground ball. That will get through the right side. And that'll be a hit. That'll actually be the first hit of the day for Echols. And so they'll have runners on first and second. And is that still Evan Adams in right, or is that Jacob Mullis now? Yeah, we've got several defensive changes. Because who is that in center field?
Okay, we still have Bryson left. In center, I think it's Evan in center now, and I think that looks like Jude, I believe, and Jude King in right field.
Another single, this time to center. And so Echols, for the first time today, their bats come to life a little bit, and they now have the bases loaded with 1 out here in the 4th. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine.
Yeah, the new outfield. Is Jacob Mullis in right? Is that correct?
No, just by looking from this far, it looks like Jude King to me.
Jude King. Okay. All right, the pitch from Ryan, call strike there, 0-1. Liner to center, and that'll get down for a hit. So give Jordan Nolan a single and an RBI. And a weird turn of events here as the Echols bats that have been dead the whole game have Jacob just suddenly come to life again.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, finally, he loses the no-hitter, and now we've lost the shutout.
Liner caught by Clemens. Actually, that was a chopper caught by Clemens. He will go home there to record the force out.
That was actually a smart play by Clemens there. Of course, I mean, you don't want to surrender any more runs than you have to. I mean, he's keeping it at the 10-run deficit now. If we're coming into the bottom of the inning and record some more runs, we can still end it early here.
So McLeod will reach on a fielder's choice, and Clemens retires to put out 5-2 there. Fouled off.
Well, no, sorry about that, Mike. Yet again, I've got confirmation from up there at the radio that is not Jude King. You were right. That is Jacob Mullis in right.
So bases still loaded for Echols. They've scored their first run of the game here. They've got 3 hits this inning. But that is an unearned run because Cox reached on an error. The pitch from Ryan. That's down the left field line. Chasing, but it will land foul. As Ian, Bryce, and Jalen all trying to converge on that. As TJ would say, we almost had a conclusion.
Yeah, TJ kind of cracked me up there in East Bend the other day.
But I've come to a good conclusion that the Trojans are winning big.
Oh, yeah.
11-1. The pitch from Ryan, off speed, misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. 11-1, Trojans leading it in the 4th. The pitch.
That'll be it. Caught looking.
And that'll be it. So, After 3.5 complete, Trojans 11, Echols 1. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Weird scenario there. You think we might have seen Ryan for the last inning here?
You know, I would not be surprised because, of course, I mean, I don't think Ryan's beginning to lose it, but I think to be precautionary, the next inning you may see him lose it in the next inning because of him giving up those 3 hits. But of course, you've got 2 or 3 more seniors who could also throw. I mean, Coach Mercer may be thinking about putting another senior on the mound next inning. If it is, that's if the Trojans don't end it now.
Yeah, that's true.
Mike, just for in between inning small talk, Mr. Deep and I talked about the upcoming G-Day and the Braves as well. And I told him that the official rosters for G-Day have been released. You'd have Fromm manning the red team this year, and Justin Fields would be manning the black team. And just basically, what are you expecting? We've talked about this already, but I mean, what are you most anxious about going up there to watch at G-Day?
My concerns are more with the defense.
Uh-huh.
Especially with some of the injuries we've had in the secondary. Also, defensive line depth. Kirby's made it known he's concerned about his defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are some. Tyler Clark not really playing right now. No reason to risk Tyler Clark tomorrow, Saturday as well.
Right.
I think there's going to be quite a few guys get rested.
I've actually read some news talking about the running backs as well. They said that Swift is pretty much going to be DeAndre Swift. And also Elijah Holyfield had noted that he said he's not afraid to be what he said, quote, a violent runner. And, of course, we didn't see much violent running out of Elijah Holyfield this past year because of the 2 stars that we had, of course, because they got most of the playing time. But seeing Elijah Holyfield this year, if he keeps good on his promise of being a violent runner, that we should have another good year as far as the running backs go for Georgia.
Yep, I totally agree. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Of course, we won't get to see Swift on Saturday. He's been dealing with that groin injury, so he will be out. Brian Harrion had battled a hamstring earlier in camp, so I don't know, what the status on him as well. All right, Bryce Young. Is this Bryce Young, the hitter?
It is.
The pitch from Cox misses low. Bryce 0 for 2 on the day, but he does have an RBI. That the ground out to second back in the first drove in a run, and then he struck out swinging back in the second. So let's see if Bryce can get himself a hit here on senior day. 11-1 Telfair leading it here in the 4th inning. The delivery from Cox.
And also with it being close to possibly ending in the next inning or two, we'd also need to be in consideration about who we might name a player of the game as well.
No doubt about it. We have a defensive change here for Echols. That's number 10 now in left field. That is Brent Mashburn. Left field for Echols.
Right down another walk.
So yes, another walk here on the day. (11-1) Telfair here in the 4th on senior day. What promises to be a good senior day celebration after the game.
Third baseman, number 4, Jalen Clemens.
And a great senior recognition, folks.
Oh, yes.
All that went really well. And now Jalen Clemens, the hitter, getting on that bat here. Just want to check. Is Jalen a freshman?
Jalen is a freshman.
Okay, so one of the baby Trojans here. Call strike there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And thanks to John Deep up here doing a great job on the camera, and Miss Patty Deep as well. And she's keeping us straight here. Telfair leading it 11-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. on a sunshiny, bright day here.
Very.
There's no partly sunny to today. There's no doubt about that. Cox from the stretch. Jan takes his lead. There's a pop-up. Shortstop battle in the sun, and he will not be able to make the catch. He will flip to second, though, to get the force out. Was the infield fly in effect? Had they called infield fly there?
I didn't hear anybody call infield fly.
So basically the net effect of that is that Clemens reaches on a fielder's choice and they get Jan out. It'll go 6-4 on the put out there. And now we'll be back to the top of the lineup. And Harrison Wood. Harrison, one of the 5 seniors on this team. And Harrison's due as well. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Does have a stolen base and did score a run.
You know, Mike, when you actually look at it, to look at how impressive the approaches at the plate have gone for us today during the game, it's kind of overshadowed by the walks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, early in the season, I remember Turner County walked us. We had a lot of walks in that game, but this has exceeded even that. So now 2-0 the count. Echols has struggled all day. Both pitchers, Roberts and Cox, initially the first couple of batters when he came in relief, he did a pretty good job, but now he has labored as well to throw strikes. There's a high fly ball to left going back, and that will roll all the way to the wall. That's going to score 1. And now they've got Harrison in a rundown. But now they actually have both runners in a rundown. And is that
I'm guessing they landed
who was
the tag.
out?
I'm guessing they landed the tag on Jalen Clemens.
Okay, so Clemens.
Because we could see Jalen trying to do a little bit of a juke move, trying to get around the catcher.
So Harrison Wood gets a double. He goes over to third on the throw, and then Clemens is gunned down. And don't even ask me how to try to score all the throws back and forth. We'll just say he was put out. Jacob's going to try to figure that up for us. Still 11-1 Trojans. Cameo Blankenship, the hitter.
2-5-2. If I didn't lose count, Mike, I think it was a 7-4-5-2-5-2 put out.
7-4.
5-2-5-2.
You are the man, Jacob. You are the man.
That's if I didn't lose track.
So if you're scoring that at home, these are the numbers you can go out and play the lottery tonight. 7-4-5-2-5-2. Mark that down.
Which would be. So, some people don't know 742 your numbers.
That's true. Yeah, that is the left fielder to the second baseman, to the third baseman, to the catcher, to the third baseman, to the catcher. Thank you, Miss Patty, helping us to explain that there. 11-1 Telfair leading it. You know, the wind, we haven't talked about the wind because there's been so many walks that we haven't had to, but it's nothing like it was at Dodge County, but it has been at least pretty strong. Right now, blowing pretty much straight out of the north to south wind.
Okay, so did Cameo get walked? Because we do have a runner on first.
I guess so. My bad, we missed that. And is this?
This is Ian.
Okay.
At the plate.
So Ian is the hitter. Ian 1 for 1 on the day with a hit by pitch and a base on ball. Ian has scored 3 runs, has 2 stolen bases, and an RBI. Pitch. Ooh. And that just hit him. His helmet came off. Let's hope he's okay. And I believe he is. He looks to be. Just a glancing blow, maybe.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. I mean, I guess it might have caught him on the bill of the helmet and knocked it off, I guess.
So that the second time today hit by a pitch. And control has been the issue for the Echols pitchers today, no doubt. 11-1 Telfair leading it. And they have a meeting. Are they going to make a change here? Will they make the Chamber of Commerce call to the bullpen? (11-1) Telfair leading it, 2 outs here. We are in the 4th inning, and the Trojans have runners on all the bases. There are ducks on the pond here. (11-1). And do we think that the run rule is 12 after 4?
I do believe so. It's just like I was telling Mr. Deep. I think it's 15, 12, 8.
Now batting.
So it's very. So if we could get a base hit here and played a couple of runs, this could be the end of the ball game. And how fitting for Ryan Dobson. There is a shot to right, and the right fielder cannot come up with it. That will score 1. That'll score 2, and we'll find out if that is indeed the game. Apparently that is not the case, but give Ryan a single and 2 RBIs.
Batting for Telfair Trojans, right?
And it is now 13-1 Trojans.
So Cameo and Ian both score.
That's correct. Or actually, Cameo and Harrison.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
And Ian's at 3rd. So runners on the corners for the Trojans. And Trey Best, the hitter.
And we are
13-1.
And we are calling that a single for Ryan, or
Yeah, that's correct. A single for Ryan. And 2 RBIs. The pitch from Cox. A called strike. Looked like it could have been a little low, but called strike. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs. Telfair leads it 13-1 here in the 4th. That pitch misses away. And that gets away from the pitcher. And that could have been disaster again for Echols. 13-1 Telfair leading it. The good guys way ahead here on senior day. Colton Cox from the stretch. And the pitch. Ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike. This has been the pattern all day with Echols. They have been behind in the count. A lot of full counts. A lot of walks. And again, misses, and that'll be another walk.
So that was Jacob Mullis batting in place of Trey Best there.
Oh, okay.
I do believe so.
So that is correct. You have to pardon me there. So now we'll see if, and it appears that Echols will make another pitching change here. They will make the Telfair Chamber of Commerce call to the bullpen. 13-1.
So I'm guessing the center fielder and the pitcher are changing spots.
That does appear to be. We'll have to try to put some glasses here on that pitcher. See who that is. This is number 11? 15, okay.
I don't know.
Let's see if you can tell, Jacob.
All right, let's take a look.
If he will turn around, we hopefully can tell here. Yes,
And that's
yes,
a
it is
15.
number 15, and that is Colby Tucker. So Colby Tucker now on in relief of Colton Cox. Of course, Weston Roberts started the game for Echols. And now Tucker will come on the pitch here. All right, thanks to our sponsors here. Merchants and Citizens Bank, Deep and Deeper Cleaning, and Deep Productions. And actually, I think I thanked the other one there a moment ago. Kind of, is that okay? And Telfair County Chamber of Commerce, Miss Paula. Shout out to her. So, and this game has kind of been one of those. I'll tell you, I'll use the phrase that Rex used up there. That this game was kind of like watching paint dry. And that's kind of been the pace of today's
Well, he
game.
ain't wrong.
And promote your podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Of course, tune in to go to www.deepproductionsllc.com and check out everything. There are 3 podcasts up, 3 ball games already up. This one will be on there pretty soon after the game or tomorrow, so in the next day or two. And also even a concert out there. So check out Deep Productions. I tell you what, if you have the Hopper, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever DirecTV has as the equivalent, and you can access YouTube through your TV, that's also a great way to watch as well. There's a liner. Get through the left side. That'll be a single. That'll score another run, and it is now 14-1. So give, was that Trey Blankenship the hitter?
I do believe that was Trey Blankenship.
So give him a single and an RBI.
Trojans first baseman number 7.
And the runs just to keep on coming in bunches. 14-1. And what has been a memorable senior day here at Trojan Field. Noah Harrell's. No, now we have, is that Jonathan Rogers?
I think that is Jonathan Rogers, I do believe.
Okay, so Jonathan Rogers, the hitter here, getting a pinch hit at bat. Maybe it's 15 runs after 4. We'll find out. There's a liner coming our way. High fly ball. That'll get up against the fence. That's going to score 1. It's going to score, appears to be another one, and that'll be 16-1. Actually, base clearing, that's going to be 17-1, and that's going to do it here. So Jonathan Rogers with a double, base clearing double, so give him a double and 3 RBIs, and that's going to end our game here today as Telfair on senior day with a big win over Echols as the Trojans win it 17-1 in 4 innings. And Jacob, we worried possibly in the beginning about emotions from senior day playing a factor. I don't think we had to worry about that because that was not an issue.
No, they pretty much got rid of those emotions pretty quickly. They had fun in the commemoration, and they pretty much got down to business as soon as they hit the field. Just an all-around great performance. I mean, 17 runs. I mean, wow. That's all I'm really saying right now is wow.
No doubt about it. 17 runs for the Trojans. Time of game, 1 hour and 37 minutes. That brought to you by Merchants and Citizens Bank. And your winning pitcher today, Ryan Dobson. And so,
do you want to go ahead and name a player of the game here?
Let's just name the seniors.
Okay, we'll name the seniors the player of the game.
And all those seniors are Harrison Wood, Ian Blankenship, Bryce Young, Evan Adams, and who am I missing here? Who's the other senior here I'm missing?
If Harrison Wood, Ian Blankenship, Ryan Dobson,
Evan Adams,
and Bryce Young.
And Bryce Young. So congratulations to the seniors on Senior Day. So players of
pretty
the
much, I
game.
mean, they all contributed today. So big player of the game award would go all to them.
All right, so I guess we got to head over to post game on radio
Oh yes.
for your honors with a. But great broadcast here today, and stay tuned to find out where the Trojans are going to be in the playoffs. We'll get a little